Well, hello, my beautiful Virgo. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career or money reading for the end of February right through the end of March 2024. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I'll never ask for personal details. And I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Virgo, this is your career and money reading. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. I do apologize for my voice. It may go in and out in this reading. I have come down with yet another seasonal cold. I'm definitely on the lemon, honey, and ginger, of course, to get back to best. And I actually feel fine apart from this voice that keeps going in and out. It's a little bit croaky at the moment. But anyway, I'm going to move through it. So let's get straight on with your reading and see what is coming out for you regarding your career and money situation. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Virgo? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to be aware of at this time regarding their career? Well, we have the Emperor energy, so you definitely have a very ambitious energy over the next coming weeks. And I definitely see that you're going to be recognized for something that you do, okay? This is about you standing in a spotlight, doing something that you love, but also it's about strategizing. So I'm actually seeing in the water, because I'm scrying at the same time as doing your reading, I'm seeing like a blueprint, okay? Now that can indicate that you are looking at the bigger picture, you're looking at your plans and what needs to be actioned next before you can move forward on the rest of your plan. So some of you may literally be drawing up blueprints. I mean, some of you in the career that you have, because everybody's going to be different, of course, maybe you actually use blueprints for your career in some way, but I feel, yeah, planning stages. 2 of Wands is planning, or, you know, yearning for something, and you are designing some sort of plan to get to where you want to go. You're wishing for something in your career, and I definitely see that you're aligning yourself with that wish. I can see that you're working really hard towards making it happen, but also I get this energy of you cultivating your landscape right now in your career, just to make sure that you are, headed in the right direction. And look, you've got the 9 of Pentacles there, which is moving towards financial security, self-sufficiency, and, you know, being able to save a little bit more money in the coming weeks there as well. Now we do have that 8 of Swords, okay? So some of you, with the 8 of Swords, this is really about being super honest with yourself. Some of you are tapping into your intuition at this time to try and either launch something new or wait for new opportunities in your career to arise. We've got the King of Cups there, and we have the Moon. Interesting. Okay, so what is going on here for you? Well, looking at this, you know, some of you, and not all of you, but some of you, I'm picking up a small percentage of you beautiful Virgos out there. You may have been going through something personal, okay, because we've got the Lover's card, and we've got the King of Cups, and we've also got the 10 of Swords there in the resistance position. So it can indicate some of you have either gone through a heartbreak or you're going through some level of grief. And I'm sending you a huge hug out there, my beautiful Virgos who are going through that at this time. I mean, some of you could be going through something really difficult as well. It doesn't have to be heartbreak or grief. It can be that you're struggling with something personally and you're just launching yourself into work in order to not avoid. I don't feel like you're trying to avoid any of those emotions. I feel like you're having a bit of a refocus at this time. So I definitely see that you are being more ambitious, more organized, and throwing all of your energy, time, and attention into your ambition and into focusing on being financially secure, self-sufficient, and, you know, doing you, basically. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there if you have been going through something that has been truly difficult. You know, there are no words. I definitely see that you'll move through it with the star energy. You will heal from this. And I mean, some of you beautiful Virgos, Again, I'm getting about 10% energy for this one. Some of you beautiful Virgos have, walked away from a role, a job that perhaps you felt there was like a glass ceiling there. You felt there was no growth in that position. Or some of you may have been made redundant because we got that 10 of Swords there. It could have been a painful experience. And you may have felt to some degree you kind of liked the job or you liked aspects of it. It didn't feel like that you hated it. It feels like there was potentially a person there who was manipulating the situation, and you feel that to some degree the universe did you a bit of a favor by ushering you out of that position, but you may be looking for something new now and you're wondering, where is life going to take me? So if you are currently out of work and you're looking for a new position, you may be feeling a little bit in a bind right now, but I definitely see that you are leadership material, and I see that there is something new coming in that's going to be offered to you that brings job satisfaction, but also the Nine of Pentacles indicates that you're going to have a little bit more money than you had in your previous circumstance. So I actually feel like you're being brought into a new era in your career. So if you're currently out of work and you're looking for something new, there's definitely something coming in there. Some of you may also be toying with the idea of setting up your own business, becoming an entrepreneur, because I definitely get a sense here of duality with that Two of Wands there. I'm going to show you all the cards in a moment, but I'm just going to give you all the energy that's like burst at me straight away as I do your reading. And some of you, if you're currently in a working environment, you may be thinking about quiet quitting or leaving at the moment when it's right for you. And you may feel it's because, number one, you may feel that you've to some degree, not lost your loving feeling for it 100%, but you know that you are capable of earning more money for the same amount of work that you do, because you invest a lot of yourself there in this career. I do apologize there, my beautiful Virgo. As I said, this voice, is also a bit of a dry throat there. So occasionally I'm going to have to do that. But when I come to getting this all out to you, I may silence the cough. So it's not right in your ear. That's really annoying. But anyway, let's move on. The Emperor energy, this is your protagonist energy, which means you're getting super organized. It means that you are in the flow of strategizing your next move. But also it means you have your eye on success. I mean, some of you, if you're in a career right now, you're in a company right now, you may be waiting until bonus time before you decide to leave, if you're lucky enough to have bonus time in your working environment. I have to say this, and I feel it's happening across the board and across the world, where you're going to see a lot of large companies, even large brands that have been around for quite some time. They're going to be downsizing in, I feel like it's already started, and you're going to hear more of it. There's going to be even ones that are going to shock you, that branches are going to be closing, or there's going to be redundancies there. This is going to continue throughout 24 and 25. I don't even want to bring you that news, but, intuitively, and probably you can see it already yourselves. You don't need me to tell you that. But what I can see for the future, there is definitely more of that to come. And I'm not here to make anyone paranoid or anything. I can see that actually that you're putting yourself in a really good position to be a real asset to your industry. So I can see there with that Nine of Pentacles that you are going to be self-sufficient financially, but also you really stand out as someone who is very gifted and talented at what you do. And people with skills like that are in demand, and you will always find your way. So even if you're currently out of your working circumstances, you will find your way back into the working environment. And I feel like actually some of you, because there is a major sense of duality here, where I feel some of you are actually planning to launch either a side hustle. This may be something that is more online, because there's a lot of air in your chart. You've got, of course, the Gemini energy from the Lovers. You've got the Ten of Swords, the Eight of Swords there. So I feel this energy of, the ether, the internet, air, online services, or maybe even setting something up that you are creatively doing and putting it online. Some of you may be thinking about doing that, or you already do that. And I definitely see it will help you in the long run. But some of you are also thinking about long-term security and, long-term contracts. So if you're in a current circumstance and you feel a little bit stuck, you feel that perhaps, you've reached a certain level, because this is a pro energy. This is someone who knows what they're doing. It's someone who's really good at what they do, and you've established yourself in some way at what you do. Even if you've just gone into a new arena in the working environment, or you've just entered the working environment after a period of, being on maternity leave or paternal leave, or some of you, not all of you, some of you may have, been retired but decided to come back as a consultant, or you're doing certain projects. I definitely see that you are naturally gifted and therefore readily established in whatever it is that you do. But the Emperor really is about commanding respect. It's about you feeling like you've hit a certain level, and if you feel like you can't go any further where you're at, I feel like you're looking further afield to see if there's any other opportunities out there for you to increase your finances, increase your skill set, but also to, climb the ladder and really stand out for what it is that you do in your industry. Your work actually speaks for itself. You're someone who is dedicated. You're someone who has a lot of attention to detail. But also, not only are you gifted, but you're really strict with your time. Or I feel this energy of trying to be strict with time. The Emperor energy, when you apply it to a career or even, a money reading, when it's applied to money, it's all about strict budget. It's about making sure that you are saving or planning for the future. And with that Nine of Pentacles there, I definitely see that you are saving for the future as much as you possibly can in circumstances that you've got. You've prepared yourself for difficult times, for hardship, because that Ten of Swords there indicates deep down that there may be some difficulties ahead. Now, I'm talking about things like inflation, prices of goods, trades being delivered. There's going to be a lot of that that's going to turn out a little bit difficult. It's going to be a bit of a bumpy road ahead in the next couple of months, even towards the end of the year. It may pick up a little bit at the end of the year, but that's probably due to, a very political time, shall we say, where everything just gets a little bit better, before voting, and then suddenly it's just the same. So, I'm just getting this energy here of you like preparing for, hardship or preparing for difficult times, making sure that you're covered, but actually you found yourself in a really good position, and that's financially, okay? And also in the working environment, some of you, there may be, especially if you work in a career like a company, for example, and you don't work for yourself, I feel, you could hear of someone who has been in the industry for quite some time stepping down, even if you are an entrepreneur and there's someone that you feel you look up to or you really respect in the industry. I definitely see there's someone stepping down there, okay? But it could also be that you hear of someone in your working environment or in the industry transitioning, it's like some news comes in that could like really make you feel a little bit like at a loss, okay? So I don't like to give that message, but it is coming through, so I have to give it there. But ultimately, the main energy I've got is someone stepping down, which actually leads to new roles becoming available. So there may be a bit of a reshuffle there. For some of you, it could be a merge that's going to happen, between companies, because we've got that duality energy there with that Lovers card. So that can indicate that there is some sort of partnership merge going on behind the scenes, and right now you're not sure how it's going to affect you working in the future. So I feel there may be a bit of a reshuffle or restructure going on there. Also, if you're an entrepreneur, this could also affect you. You could see like brands or services merging, and then you have to go through different rules and regulations or policy changes there, and you may have to have a little bit more paperwork that you need to fill in, or it could be also that you have to provide certain documents to do whatever it is that you do, and it just feels like there's a logistics energy there where it can get a little bit difficult, okay? I feel like you are very goal-oriented this month, but also I feel like you're yearning for something else, because some of you, with that Two of Wands and that Eight of Swords, it indicates some of you are yearning for something that perhaps you feel you don't have right now, or you're feeling a little bit stuck. That Two of Wands energy indicates you have the whole world in your hands. Anything is possible, okay? And I'm actually getting a song with this. Okay. Thanks so much. I'm so grateful. I'm getting a song with this card. Don't shoot the messenger when I give you this song. I feel it's more indicative of how you've been feeling lately. I'm just hearing it's a Gwen Stefani song, Tick Tock, Tick Tock, what you waiting, what you waiting, what you waiting for. So very, very famous song. it's probably called TikTok or What You're Waiting For. I can't really remember the title of the song, but I do know that it's come up in a reading before in the past. Maybe not for your sign, but I'm definitely feeling that some of you are looking at time being a factor, that you don't want to waste time. I feel like you're going to be more time efficient. You're no longer waiting on something. I feel like you've been waiting for something for quite some time and you've been feeling stuck. So now you're taking the power back. You're empowering yourself in order to take action, because the Emperor is an Aries energy. It's all about taking action, being driven, being ambitious. And I feel like you don't want to wait anymore, okay? I feel like you're moving forward with something that you've been perhaps, working out behind the scenes, maybe planning, or maybe it's you're waiting for all the variables to be in place before you launch something, but you're ready to forge ahead on it. So it can indicate that, some of you may be thinking about branching out. If you're an entrepreneur, for example, maybe thinking about international energy, going global, that sort of thing. And some of you are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur. You may be thinking about launching your own business or, stepping into a leadership position, but at the same time, thinking about consulting or, maybe even putting up like a course of learning online for other people to look at who can learn from your skill set and learn from any advice that you have to offer. But at the same time, there's like passive income coming in here. Because you have the Moon card here, this can indicate like a level of passive income. The dog is about something that's a little bit more long-term, a little bit more secure, and the wolf represents independence, going off, being bold and daring and doing something a little bit different than usual. But both of them lead to the same path, your happiness, your dreams becoming a reality there. With the Two of Wands, some of you may also be looking at your schedule to see if you can factor in some sort of vacation or a quick trip. I see some of you deciding to take like a weekend away or something, maybe something you're saving for at the moment. But the Two of Wands actually means that you are envisaging something new right now in your career, and you may feel that you've hit like a plateau and you're deeply in the process of trying to move forward into uncharted territory. So I definitely see you're in the planning stages of something, being stricter with your time. That song, it may play suddenly out of the blue, and it feels like there is some sort of like it's either a project. I mean, it could be a promotion. I'll have to pull a card on it, but it feels like maybe an independent project that comes in that brings in more money, because I feel like there is an increase in your finances with that Nine of Pentacles. But I feel it's sticking to your plan, whatever it is. I don't feel like it's a surprise, this amount of money that's coming in. I feel it's more that you worked really hard for this. You've been disciplined with your energy, your time. You're working towards a goal, and you're going to reach that goal. But I also feel like you're being really resourceful with your finances, and you may be looking at, how much you get to save in the next 6 weeks, and actually be really proud of yourself there as well. Now we have that Eight of Swords. This is the protagonist energy. So some of you may be planning something that you're feeling a little bit nervous about. Perhaps it's like feel the fear and do it anyway, because the Eight of Swords actually means self-imposed restriction. So maybe that card, the Two of Wands, and the song actually is resonant in some way, because it's like, what you waiting for? What you waiting for? So some of you may actually have a plan already. Everything's ready to go. And some of you may think, should I soft launch it first just to see how it goes? Or should I just like reveal it? With the star energy, I feel like you're going to be really confident and just reveal, but I also feel with that moon energy, it does feel like a soft launch energy. It's almost like, reveal a little bit of it and then let it out. So it could be that some of you are doing something creative on the side, or have some sort of side hustle that you've been working on silently, and then you just sort of like put a little bit of it out there just to test the waters, as it were, and then suddenly you reveal all and you're established as having your own business. Or it could be that you are launching another branch of your business in some way. But the Eight of Swords indicates, fear will just keep us stuck. So use your intuition. This is a time where you are protected. These 8 swords, okay, they actually represent protection. The swords are not pointed at the figure. They are protecting the figure during difficult times. And, it really is about releasing yourself from denial and recognizing that you deserve certain things because you put so much effort into it. So now is a time for liberation, to face whatever it is that you have to face. And, this person is facing their future. So I feel some of you are looking at things like pensions, acquisitions, maybe real estate, looking at saving plans, but also looking at job security and, feeling fulfilled, like you're making an impact in your industry. So I feel like, there can be a time where we're just working towards a goal and we don't really come up for air to really stop and think about our plans. We're just doing. But I feel right now, the next 6 weeks, you're actually going to be in a very sort of contemplative mode where you are ruminating on the next steps of your path and where you want to take your career. And some of you, with the world there, some of you are actually wondering if you're in the right place. So you may be thinking about maybe going overseas, or you're looking at different parts of the world. Some of those countries in the world may be a little bit more lucrative for your finances, especially if you're an entrepreneur. And some of you may be asked to be seconded to different branches that are connected to a company that perhaps you work for, because you may want to experience like, a new environment or a different tax bracket or something there. So I feel some of you are just putting the feelers out right now to see what is achievable with your skill set, because you're highly gifted. You've got the Emperor energy for a reason. You are leadership energy. Now, we do have the Lover's card. It's in the resistance position, so that can indicate you leaving a place that you once loved, or it can also indicate that there has been some discord in your current working environment. Maybe arguments with people, micromanaging, especially someone trying to manipulate circumstances. You've got a King of Cups in the reverse there to start. Okay, so it could be that there's someone that you once had a lot of respect for, but now you feel they've shown their true colors in the working environment and you're trying to avoid this person, or, maybe it's even made you feel that you just want to release yourself from an environment where you feel people's passion for what they do has left. There's no workers' morale, there's no office support, or there's no team support, and you may feel like you are leaving something behind, because that Ten of Swords indicates new start. Okay, but it can indicate, as I said right at the beginning, a difficult ending of a position. So some of you may have come to this reading after being made redundant or fired, or, that there were some circumstances that made you leave because you felt it was too difficult, there was too much pressure. And it's almost like the pressure wasn't really coming from the job per se, because I feel like you are really talented and skillful at what you do. It was more about a certain person or the environment, the way management were dealing with things. And I feel, there was no diplomacy, no one was there to listen or to support. It just feels like there was a lot of drama there, and it just felt like it was not fair, the environment. So some of you may have left a place because of that. Now, some of you, if you're in a partnership, a business partnership, I feel like actually you're thinking about going solo, and you may be actually contemplating the logistics of ending a contract with somebody, or some of you may feel like you're bound to a contract right now and you just have to write it out. And when the moment is right, you will sever ties with that person, because I feel that person really wasn't pulling their weight, and you were right. They've lost their passion for this. I feel like they've got something personal going on behind the scenes that perhaps they're not really telling you, but I feel like they're currently distracted and they're just not putting the effort into the business. So I feel, you can heal the friendship with this person, but I feel like the business partnership is over. Okay. And I feel you will walk away from this. And although you may be feeling uncertain, I feel it's the best thing that you could do, because it's actually going to take off and it's going to be more lucrative, you being in control of the whole thing rather than that shared partnership. Okay. Now, I already mentioned some of you maybe going through something personal, but with the Lover's card, some of you even may be thinking about setting up a business with someone that you care about, someone that you love. With the Ten of Swords and the King of Cups there, it could be like, as I said, a spouse or a partner, or it could be a member of a family, someone that you really care about. Make sure you have a contract, even though you're close or you're related. It's important to always get a contract so that just everybody knows where they're at and what, is expected of them when it comes to the role. Very important there. It could be a partnership. Some of you are thinking about partnership. Some of you may even be headhunted in the next coming weeks to work for a brand or a partnership, or even get a scholarship to something, or an entrepreneurship, an apprenticeship, some sort of connection between you and a brand or a company that you have looked into or have been curious about for some time. I feel like they've been looking at you and your work ethic, and they really want you. There is someone here who is talking behind the scenes about what you do, and they've elevated you. As you can see there, that Page of Swords is to be watching. It is to be curious. It is to investigate a little bit further. So I would just say, definitely, if you work for a company, for example, be mindful that you are being appraised behind the scenes, that you are being watched in your, working environment. Not to make you feel paranoid, okay? I feel like they're just seeing who they want to give a promotion to, because I feel like there is a promotion in the works, and I feel like their first go-to person is you. As you can see there, we've got the Three of Pentacles. Now, of course, that means team support. So it can be that some people are watching how you interact as a team, because they already know that independently you're really good at working by yourself. So just watch out if there's anyone who tries to push your buttons. Do not rise to the occasion. If anyone is trying to micromanage you, with the Page of Swords there, that can be, you may want to diplomatically deal with the situation. I mean, speak your truth, absolutely, but I feel like there is someone keeping tabs on you to see if you would deal with it in a professional way. So just watch out for that, okay? Again, I'm not here to make you feel paranoid. I'm just here to make you aware that you're actually doing a really great job and people want to elevate you. This could also be a client who has been keeping an eye on your business, or a potential client who's been watching what you do and thinking, you know what, I really want to hire Virgo for my next project. And, there may be like a difficult customer that you've dealt with, and they may be watching how you deal with that difficult customer, and how you deal with it will then depend on whether they want to interact with your business. So, I mean, you're really passionate about what you do. The Lover's card tells me that you put your whole heart and soul into something, but some of you, there may be some aspects of your every working practice that perhaps you don't love so much, so you may outsource it, or you may actually delegate in some way as well. Some of you may actually hire an assistant during this time, especially if you're getting a promotion. I definitely see that you may get someone to help you with any overflow work there. Now, I have to give you an energy that's coming through, okay? Some of you may actually have a really big meeting or interview that will occur in the next 6 weeks, and I'm really being given such a weird image, which is like, that little white rabbit that's in Alice in Wonderland. Now, this is not the first time Alice in Wonderland has popped up in the last couple of weeks, so I'm not really sure why that's relevant. I'm actually going to look and see if there's like an anniversary as to why Alice in Wonderland keeps popping up in the readings, but for different reasons. Your reason, that little white rabbit, is like always saying that they're late. I'm late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye, I'm late. That's what I'm being given right now, okay? So, I mean, this could indicate that there is a potential for you to be late for something that is very important. And you may be the sort of person who is always early or on time. And it could mean that there is some sort of traffic delay, or something may get in the way that frustrates you, okay? So if there's anything important, leave a little bit earlier in the next coming weeks, because I feel there is a high potential for delays there, okay? Even if you take a usual route to work, say if it takes you an hour, right? And, on this particular day, it's a very different day. You've got a very important meeting with your boss, for example. I just get an energy of leave a little bit earlier, maybe leave an hour and a half to get there instead of an hour. So that's just coming through, so just watch out for that. I mean, it could also indicate that this is going to be a very fast-paced month for you, and that the concept of time slipping away is weighing heavy on you. You may feel that it's symbolic, like you need to prioritize what's important to you. You may have a deadline, for example, or it could be that you feel time makes you feel anxious because it's related to societal pressures. For example, you may feel like you have a certain idea of how your path should be going, and some of you may feel like you should be further along on your path right now, but know that you're exactly where you're meant to be, and when the moment is right, you're going to shift and change into a new position that will elevate you and bring in more money there as well. But I definitely see that there is a money wish coming in for you, and some of you may be curious about how a certain group of people do something. So, I mean, this could literally be that you've been watching something online, for example, because the Page of Swords is also connected to the internet. So it could be that you're watching like people online. I mean, I'm being given the word apprenticeship. There is a program called The Apprentice. So maybe it's something to do with that. I don't even know if that airs anymore. Maybe you're going to see a rerun. I'm not really sure. So maybe there's an idea you've had and someone is doing something very similar but not the same, and they may actually explain the logistics of how to make it work or how to launch it or set it up. So it could be that you're investigating a way of doing something, because this is all about craftsmanship. It's also about your talent, your gifts, and it's, some of you, it's about being a consultant. So, really advising people how best to do something, because I feel like you have the knowledge, so you're imparting the knowledge. This could be that you're becoming a mentor or in some way, or that you're actually launching a course online. I've already mentioned that, or maybe even a book of how to do something, and it will help other people. Now, also we have that Ten of Swords there. The Ten of Swords is a new beginning after a difficult time. So this can indicate a fresh new approach, but it can also mean that you're literally leaving a place because you've had enough. Okay, so some of you, if you feel like you've hit that glass ceiling, it's time to do something different. You may go independent. I've already mentioned that. Or some of you may actually move into a company that you've always wanted to work for or work with there. The Ten of Swords can actually mean that you're responding differently to challenging situations as well. So I feel some of you, if there is someone who pushes your buttons or tries to micromanage, I feel like you are just distancing yourself a little bit. I feel like you don't want to make any choices that you'll regret. So I feel right now you're being really professional in your energy, and I feel, if anything, you're distancing yourself from this person. Also, we've got the King of Cups in the reverse. I mean, on a personal level, this is about you checking in to see if your heart is still in what you do. And if some of you are feeling like your heart's still in it, you kind of love what you do, but at the same time you feel like there's no room for growth or maneuver in your current circumstances, this is about you branching out or planning new strategies in order to get to where you want to go. I mean, even if you're an entrepreneur and you're doing something day to day and everything's ticking over nicely, there's expansion here. I feel like you may want to do something different that gives you that spark, that lust for your career back, but also it like branches out in new directions, which can actually bring in more clients or bring in more opportunities to invest and save, and a cycle of repeat of money. And if you're in a career where you are in a company working with people, it can be that some of you are dipping your toe into a new environment. So it could be that you are actually thinking about, being in the same sector, but at the same time trying a different aspect of what it is that you do. So, if you are someone who works in the film industry, for example, and you've always wanted to be an actor and you're really good at what you do, and, during your downtime, you may decide that you want to direct something or write something and have control over your own project, that sort of thing. So I'm just giving you an example there. For those of you, actually, incidentally, if you want to be in a position to be seen and in the public eye, I'm talking about, you do have the star energy, which means that you are going to be launched into the public eye. I feel, some of you, you're going to get a role that perhaps requires you to be a little bit more mature in your mindset or in your wisdom. So you'll portray someone who perhaps has gone through a lot of difficult experiences, and I feel that you will get this role basically, and I feel like it will create financial stability for you. But I feel this job could come in and then it's like you're on to the next. Okay, so if you are someone who's in the public eye or a performer, I mean, this could also mean, like if you're a musician, for example, it feels like you're going to get a really great gig and then you'll do that and you are celebrated for that, you get the money for that. But then with the moon card, then there's the uncertainty again. So it's like, okay, and then you're searching for the next thing. So I do feel that coming in there as well. Now, we do have this star energy. Some of you, if you've been working in a very toxic environment that you've had to walk away from or that you're contemplating walking away from, give yourself the time to heal, okay? I definitely see that you will be healed. You'll be onto another environment that is not going to treat you in the same way. There is actually more respect if you're moving into a different environment. I feel there's more independence in a new role if you're currently putting your resume out there to try and find new opportunities. And I feel the moon card, it's like it fluctuates. I get this energy of different things each day, which keeps things fresh and exciting and new. But also the star energy, when it comes to a career, it's about being inspired. It's about having new ideas. It's about embracing those new ideas and, really renewing your faith that this is going to change everything. And it really will. I get a sense here that you are connected in some way to exciting downloads of opportunities to try and use those ideas and utilize your skills so that they blend and, take you to where you want to go, because I feel there is a financial wish that is going to be delivered for you here with this card. So also, I feel that some of you have worked really hard in your industry, and you may have felt that whether you're in a company or whether you work for yourself, you may feel that sometimes you are unappreciated or you go unnoticed, that it just seems to be you, working really hard, and sometimes it's nice to be told that you're doing a really good job. And I feel actually there is somebody who is going to give you a major compliment about your work over the next 6 weeks. And this person, they're actually established as well, really established. I feel actually there's a mutual respect here. And this person, they may try to reach out and help you or give you some advice, but ultimately they're going to give you a pat on the back, as it were. You don't need that pat on the back, but I really get a sense here that when you hear from someone else that they are noticing what you do, because there's a lot of people who notice what you do, but they don't say anything, okay? Because it actually draws attention to the fact that, they're just not as interested in the role, or they're just not as capable or talented of doing things that you do. So I feel they kind of sit back, because if you actually tell someone else they're doing a really awesome job, then people start to look at them and think, okay, well, what are you doing? So it's almost like we're in an environment right now economically where companies are going to cut back and downsize. So I feel there is a level of fear and anxiety for a lot of people regarding job security right now. And some of you are anticipating that already. So you're putting yourself in a position to do something that perhaps is connected to a contract, something that feels secure and long-term, but also almost like a backup. You have got something else ticking over, or you're planning to have that thing ticking over so that there is extra finances coming in. The Nine of Pentacles indicates that you're sticking to your plans, and it will bring you financial freedom. Nine of Pentacles really is about, being able to master your money in some way. It's about being financially independent, or at least comfortable, being able to save a little bit more than you spend there. This figure is giving out 3 pentacles and saving 6 for themselves. So I definitely see that you're going to be able to look at being strict with your budget, but without, compromising the quality of things that you have in your life. So for example, you may even treat yourself this month, because I see that there's some really awesome news, some sort of financial wish being delivered here. You will celebrate something, and you may treat yourself in some way, but still you manage to save, because I feel like you get a good discount on whatever it is that you've been searching to purchase there. We've also got the Moon card. Now the Moon card is a card of duality. As I said, the dog and the wolf represents independence and, long-term security. So it can indicate that some of you are creating that balance. If you have 2 streams of income here, just be a little bit mindful of spreading yourself thin, because it can lead to burnout, and it can actually make you feel a little bit like lethargic, like you start to lose your interest in one, because you feel like everything's just highly pressured and taking up a lot of time there. Also, that image of the white rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, you may see an image, or even see the film, perhaps, or even a clip of the film on a reel. Over the next coming weeks or months, it will remind you about time, but also I feel it's really important to recognize that you are exactly where you're meant to be right now. Okay, so if you feel that, society tells us we always must be on the go, achieving, keep moving forward, yeah, you're winning, but sometimes we need to slow down and take stock. And, at the end of February, I see you doing that. I see a little bit more of a slower pace, but then as we move through March, things really pick up pace and you're going to be very busy and very goal oriented. But the moon card indicates intuitively you'll move through any obstacles. And sometimes those obstacles, you have to move through them rather than around them. So I feel, if there's fear because you're about to launch a project, move through that fear, launch that project, and you will see that it was one of the best things that you ever did. Also, of course, it'll be strategic. You'll know the right time to move through that. Also, the moon card is about a surprise, things, behind the surface, things hidden. So I feel like there may be a bit of surprise in your working environment, whether it's a surprise that someone leaves or a new role becomes available, because I definitely see promotion vibes here for you. The King of Cups there indicates an opportunity to do something that you love, and I feel it may bring in a little bit more financial independence. And this could have come after a period of either being let go from something else or feeling like you have to let go of some aspect of your career that you kind of like, but at the same time you feel it's time to move forward and, set yourself up for a new challenge that will really take you to the top there. Now, the moon card, it feels like something behind the scenes is being orchestrated towards you that is going to be divinely guided to you in the right moment, okay? And it feels like your current situations are like not what they seem or are not a reflection of the truth at this moment as to what is really going on. Because I feel like there's either a restructure or a move energy happening here. I mean, some of your companies, if you work for a company, it may be that they are downsizing in that they are moving location. Could be that they want to keep all their workers, but at the same time, the real estate that they currently rent is going through the roof sky high and they can't afford that anymore. So they're like moving to a different state or they're moving to a different area. And there may be like a bit of an upheaval going on there for some of you. And if you're an entrepreneur, Ace of Wands, whatever this moon card is, because sometimes the moon card can indicate a level of uncertainty, fear, mistrust or frustration that things are, not as you want them to be. But I just want to clarify what kind of energy it is, because this can be you connecting to your dreams. And we've got the Ace of Wands there, which means you are inspired. You have a vision, a new vision that is going to be very enterprising, that is going to be very adventurous, and there is a transformation happening here, but it works in your favor. So any of these changes that are going on behind the scenes, they're working for your highest good, and I definitely see that it's going to be a very fast-paced month there. Lots of coincidences happening for you as well. I also feel like some of your dreams may be prophetic at this time, so pay close attention to your dreams. But this is a card to be bold and daring, to dream big, because those dreams are becoming a reality, and that you are on a creative, powerful journey to make your career happen for you. So whatever transformations you are making, they will be very fruitful indeed. And the universe is supporting it. But also I feel like there is a surprise opportunity headed in your direction. Aces are new. They are gifted by the universe. So this can indicate either a new creative project being offered to you, or a new role being offered to you, or a new incentive to rise through the ranks in some way. So I definitely see that you'll be grabbing it with both hands. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Virgo? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to be aware of regarding their career? Can you please show them for their highest good what they are meant to see? They want one more, so I'll give it. Okay. You know what? That's really interesting that you got this. We got big fish here, and I really feel like some of you are feeling like a big fish in a small pond right now. So it's time to move on to pastures new, because you feel like there's stagnation where you may feel you are right now. But what's really exciting, and I'll come back to that big fish in a moment, it says doorway, open to possibilities, potential job opening, steps, walking away, risks, and shifting focus. And that's definitely something that has come up in your reading there. Also, I mentioned that there's going to be somebody who really admires your work, is going to give you a piece of information, wants to help you in some way. We got helping hand there come out as well. Giving and getting support, reaching out, financial aid, donate, charity work, and loan. Okay, so some of that may apply to you, but the main energy I'm getting from that is that there is like you either like delegating or outsourcing in some way, but also someone offering some level of help there or advice that will be very fruitful for you. And we've got reeling them in, good impression, on the hook, great catch, lucrative deals. Okay, so I really feel you're going to catch, you are a catch when it comes to your working environment. You really are an asset. But I feel like you're going to catch a break here, a lucky break. But it's more than just luck. It's more that you have the skill set. You're ready. Luck really is about your preparation, meeting an opportunity. And combined, there is a partnership that leads to success. So I feel like you're ready for this success there as well. But also, I mentioned earlier about the good impression. I feel like people are noticing what you do and the way you do it, and they are impressed. So I feel, being diplomatic in difficult circumstances could also be a plus to help you there as well. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Virgo? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to be aware of? They want one more, so I'll give it. Thank you so much. So we have gift, giving and receiving. So another energy of give and receive, reciprocity, helping others. Maybe it's through a course of learning, or maybe you support somebody as well and you offer them some really good advice. But it says here, windfall, sudden windfall, generosity, financial support, work surprise, and vacation. All those energies came up in your reading, so it's nice to be validated there. We've also got mask, secret stash, saving the pennies. And it says here, finding money, acting. That did come up briefly, so some of you may be actors or performers in some way. Assistant. I did mention that there would be an assistant potential there. Hidden potential and the unknown. And the moon came up as an unknown energy, but I feel like you're preparing for all those unknown eventualities. Now, we do have the word theft in this card, okay? Now, I'm not seeing any theft energy in this reading, okay? But I feel, it could be a theft of ideas, doesn't have to be of financial theft, but I always say make sure, that if anybody sends like a phishing email, even if it seems like it's from your bank or your financial institution and it's an email that says, hey, we've got something really important to tell you about your card, or someone purchased this on your card, click here on this link. Don't click it, okay? Contact your bank through your usual lines of inquiry because this could be fraudulent, okay? So just make sure, you're very savvy, my beautiful Virgo. I can't imagine that you would do that, but they're getting so good now that everything looks like legit. So, everybody could be mistaking something that looks truly real in an email, but it might be potentially fraudulent. So if there's any links or any phone numbers to call in these things, do not do it. Call, through your usual lines of inquiry to all of those institutions. Now, we also have Buddha, life purpose, more than just money, spiritual wealth, counselor, being guided, and divine path. And I definitely see that you are focused on making an impact in your true life's calling and mission, and you're on the right path, and it will bring you peace. And of course, when you have peace of mind and you enjoy what you do, the money will actually naturally flow from there as well, okay? So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or a rune before we close. Ooh. Oh, wow. Did you see that? I hope you caught that in camera because this is in the way, so maybe you didn't. But I was just like getting the usual trinket and rune, and a heart just threw itself out of the bowl. Well, that's not an accident, actually. It could be the way that everything, that's never happened. I can do this all the time. You probably want to silence that. Sorry about that. But my guides made sure that this came out. So this is about, loving what you do, following your heart. I really hope it got caught on camera because it literally flew out of the bowl. I have to be honest, I didn't catch my guide doing it. Normally I can see when it's my guide, and it was not my guide. So I feel it was just an energy burst coming out there of you following your heart, putting your whole heart and soul into everything. But also I feel like, you are a gem when it comes to the working environment, and I feel like you're going to safeguard your position, and I feel like, there is better opportunities coming your way as well in the future. We also have the Wheel of Destiny, so this is about good fortune, but there is something sudden coming to you where you'll have to make a decision. And of course, fortune favors the brave. But I really want you to be aware that you are in charge of your destiny. Of course, we're going to be guided to certain plot points on our journey that are fated to happen. You know, there's been many career moves that I made that were fated to happen, and I didn't realize. Like, I'll just tell you this one time. One time I was out of work, and, you know, I was really like worried about not being able to pay the bills and all of that thing. And, basically, a friend of mine reached out that I worked at a company with them. And they said, hey, I've just gone to this new company and they're looking for someone to do what you do. You know, why don't you actually message them and say, hey, you know, here's my resume. I was recommended by my friend. And I was like, okay, great. And because I had been like out of work for a little bit, what I did do was I booked some travel to go and stay with my family who were abroad at the time. And I had that already booked. So basically, I reached out to the company, and as luck would have it, you know, the universe, basically, I got an energy that it's not going to happen this time. And I'm like, oh, have I missed the boat? But anyway, the person from HR reached out and said, we love your CV. We think you should definitely come in for a meeting on Friday. And I was like, oh. And I was flying on Friday. And I was like, oh. And I said, oh, right, okay. Well, basically, I have been out of work for a little bit, and I've been looking, and I actually booked a trip. It's only a brief one, just to see my folks for like a couple of days. And I was actually coming back on the Tuesday, I think. And they were like, oh. And I said, so I can come in on Wednesday of next week. And they were like, oh, well, we'll see. And I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, it comes to the Monday, and I reached out to them and said, hey, you know, you've probably found someone for the role, or I was just checking to see if they had, I could really be free on Wednesday first thing. And they were like, you know what, we've chosen someone else for the role, you know, thank you so much. But if anything ever comes up again, we'll contact you. And I was like, okay, didn't get this one. So, you know, anyway, time went on, of course, and I was still looking, and I decided to go through an agency. And about 3 months later, this agency said, we got this great role, okay, and it's in this street and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's the same company. And, you know, the person who had gone into the role, they left. But that company didn't reach out to me. An agency, so a third party, actually got me to go to the company. I was always destined to go to this company, but the timing, obviously, from the universe had to be right. I was meant to meet some people there for my future, that was for sure. I didn't realize it at the time, but everything happens for a reason. So I want you to be aware of that things, you know, they take a turn and you're like, what? This makes no sense. And then a couple of months or even years later, everything starts to make sense. Why you were meant to meet that person, why you were meant to go to a certain work environment, why things were meant to happen as they are. And finally, we have the water rune. Now, this is all about daydreams. So that can be your intuition, your visions becoming a reality. Because remember, a daydream is basically a manifestation. Thoughts become things. So see yourself living the life that you aspire to have and watch it unfold. The universe will deliver, okay? So remember, thoughts become things. So very powerful month for you to drive ahead and make some changes in your career that will benefit you long term, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in that reading for you, my beautiful Virgo. If it does, please like and subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Virgo, and love and light.